Evening Rush right here on Voice of the People 90.3 FM. My name is Esther Wachuku. Welcome aboard, my beautiful, beautiful family. It's an interesting day. So let me tell you how interesting the day is. What kind of hot sun they shine today? I think for the past 2 days it's been very, very hot. All of a sudden, weather just changed. I said, Ogene, what's going on? What's happening? But it was needed because I don't even understand how the weather just swerved from very cold, raining to extremely hot, stagnant, and sunny. So that tells you how amazing God is. And God is never predictable. In other words, there is nothing predictable about life. So anybody who thinks that what is currently going on in their lives right now is going to be a predictable pattern, trust me, it's like you don't believe in the Almighty. So the Almighty knows how He does His things, and I want you to believe in Him. Okay, you are wondering why I'm not preaching. I'm just trying to let you know that nothing is constant and nothing is certain about life. And I'm speaking to some people who think that already there is a certainty. There's no certainty. Life is literally unpredictable. All right, welcome aboard. It's 90.3 FM. It's time for the Evening Rush. The Evening Rush takes place right here every day, Monday to Friday from 7 till 9 p.m. Sometimes we actually extend it. You guys have been asking for extension, and people don't ask me, how do I get home? Who would take me? Would you accompany me home? Would you accompany me home? But yes, we do this 7 to 9. The Evening Rush, we look at topical issues across Nigeria's socio-economic landscape, issues that actually set the turn wagon, issues that actually let the polity get engaged in conversations. And we have logical, comprehensible conversations. We have analysts with their different perspective who gets to give us in-depth analysis or in-depth details on their perspective to these issues. And obviously, your reactions always count anytime we start off the program. I would implore you to join us on YouTube. We actually do this audio visual, so we're not just streaming terrestrially. You can join us on YouTube. It's at VOP 903 FM. Okay, VOP 903 FM. We're currently streaming live, so anywhere, any part of the world that you are, you can join the conversation. Thank you very much for that. Now, so apparently today, like I said, today is a very interesting day with a lot of events unfolding. So we're going to start off with the very obvious, which is Nnamdi Kanu holding private consultations with his legal team ahead of the October 23 defense. Oh yes, tomorrow he is to appear in court tomorrow. I'm sure you guys know that Aloy Ejimako, along with Nnamdi Kanu's younger brother, they're still in detention. So, and obviously Aloy is not the lead counsel. All right, the lead counsel is Kanu Agabi. So he's already consulting. And basically what happened was that he was brought to court by officials of the TSS. He met with members of his legal team in a courtroom vacated for him by Justice James Omotosho. The meeting was held in Court 7. It was located on the second floor of the Federal High Court headquarters complex in Abuja, the same courtroom where his terrorism trial is being conducted. So going by the schedule of proceedings in the case issued by Justice James Omotosho on September 16. The meeting is part of the defense team's preparation for the commencement of the defendant's case on Thursday, October 23. So tomorrow is really going to be a very busy day for Nnamdi Kanu and his legal team. You know, they have asked him to open his defense. This time around, Nnamdi Kanu is meant to present his witnesses and those that he can actually that can portray his stance. And guess what? He has indicated his readiness to open his defense, and he listed 23 witnesses topping political and military figures. So in a new application filed before the Federal High Court in Abuja, Kanu said he is prepared to proceed with his defense in the ongoing trial, which borders on treasonable felony and terrorism charges brought against him by the federal government. Please pardon my voice. I think a couple of you already know that. I don't know if it's the flu. All of a sudden my voice is just croquet. All right, so the notice was personally signed by Kanu, and he suggests he may have disengaged his legal team led by Kanu Agabi. This is not the first time he's disengaging his legal team, I'm sure you know. Well, in the filing, Kanu informed the court that he intends to call two categories of witnesses. Those described as ordinary but material witnesses. I'm sure you're following the conversation, right? Those he described as ordinary but material witnesses. Then the other one, is vital and compellable witnesses, who he said will be summoned under Section 232 of the Evidence Act 2011. Among those listed as vital and compellable witnesses are Theophilus Danjuma, the former Minister of Defense, Buratai, former Chief of Army Staff, Babajide Sanwo-olu, Lagos State Governor, Hope Uzodinma, Governor of Lagos of Imo State, and Wike, the FCT Minister. Let me take that again. Kanu informed the court that he intends to call two categories of witnesses, those described as ordinary but material witnesses and vital and compellable witnesses, who he said will be summoned under Section 232 of the Evidence Act 2011. Now, amongst those listed as vital and compellable, they are vital and they must be compelled to appear as witnesses in his case starting from tomorrow, October 23, 2025. The witnesses that are meant to be present in court as instructed by Kanu are Theophilus Danjuma, former Minister of Defense, Buratai, former Chief of Army Staff, Babajide Sanwo-olu, the current Governor of Lagos State, Hope Uzodinma, the Governor of Imo State, and Wike, the Minister of the FCT. Other names include Okeze Ikpeazu, former Governor of Abia State, Dave Umahi, the Minister of Works, Abubakar Malami, the former Attorney General of the Federation, who is now in the ADC, Ahmed Rufai, immediate past Director General of the National Intelligence Agency, Yusuf Bichi, the former Director General of the Department of State Services, and Oluwatosin Adiola Ajayi, the current DSS Director General. These are his witnesses from tomorrow that he's opening his defense. Now, the IPOB leader also asked the court to grant him 90 days to conclude his defense, citing the number of witnesses and the nature of evidence he intends to present. Okay, we are all sat. Justice James Omotosho, the presiding judge, had earlier fixed Wednesday for Kanu, that is today, to meet and confer with his lawyers within the court premises. I already introduced that and told you that he met with his legal team today in Court 7 the court, and it's a measure aimed at addressing his complaints of alleged interference by DSS officials. Kanu has always complained that in the DSS custody, he's not comfortable with his legal team coming there, and then they are discussing strategy. He said that place is well equipped and they listen in to all the conversation that he has. So in other words, the prosecuting counsel will be prepared ahead of time, because supposedly the DSS may have told the prosecuting counsel what the defense strategy is, and Kanu said he's no longer comfortable discussing strategy with his legal team within the DSS custody. So he was in court today meeting with his legal team, but right now Kanu Agabi is no longer one of the legal team. I don't know why he discharged him, but I'm sure you're not surprised. You remember Michael Zekome, right? So maybe there's one reason or the other, possibly has gotten somebody. And yes, like I said, it's going to start off tomorrow. So the court is expected to take up the new application and determine the next steps in the long-running case, which has continued to generate national and international attention. So that means all the persons that were named here, those are he called vital and compellable witnesses, starting from the Lagos State Governor, the FCT Minister, former Chief of Defense Staff, former Chief of Army Staff, former Minister of Defense, former also current Governor of Imo State, former Governor of Abia State, also the current Minister of Works, Dave Umahi, former Attorney General of the Federation, Abubakar Malami, as well as Ahmed Rufai, the immediate past Director General of the National Intelligence Agency. You recall that they were the ones responsible for his extraordinary rendition from Kenya during the administration of late Muhammadu Buhari. It was a National Intelligence Agency that did their intelligence gathering, whatever method they used in ensuring that Kanu left the UK to come to Kenya, and that was where he was taken. So these are the persons. Now the question is, I expect that between today and tomorrow the witnesses will be served. Maybe they will tell them each day that they need to appear in court. Now, I don't know if these persons will be able to appear in court. Persons like Nyesom Wike, persons like, I don't know how the governor of Lagos State fits in here. I'm actually shocked. I really want to know how these persons are witnesses to his case, because it's shocking. These persons he mentioned, Maybe the former chief of army staff may come because they're no longer active. Malami obviously has to come because he's not a favorite of this current administration, and he was actually the one who actually presided over the whole situation with Nnamdi Kanu. So to now, exactly. So these are the persons, and I don't know, they did not talk about the ordinary but material witnesses, but the ones mentioned are the vital and compellable witnesses, and they are the supposed elites that I mentioned. So I don't know what Kanu is actually up to, but we're going to see how everything unfolds in the course of this 90-day defense trial of Nnamdi Kanu. Hopefully something will come out of it. Now, apparently another unfortunate situation has occurred in Kaduna, where terrorists launched coordinated attacks in Kaduna, abducted 9 residents. That's a very interesting information, because we got to see a leaked memo from the Department of State Security Service saying that Ondo State and Kogi State, that there is a planned ISWAP attack. How does a DSS, how did that leak come about? My guest this evening is Mr. Elvis Elimehele. I was shocked when I saw that. It's almost like you're informing the terrorists ahead that we know, and we're informing this. So what is the surprise there?
There is no surprise any longer, because
what's the element of mystery?
Because you are informing the terrorists that we are, to get prepared, that we already know that you are coming. I don't even understand how such vital
it went viral security, like the notes from the DSS, the letter from the DSS, or was it deliberate? How do you get an informed? Are you trying to tell the residents to what, arm themselves or prepare themselves or start fleeing?
I don't know,
because they said that was what happened in Kwara, that the state governor was informed. Maybe it was not publicized, but that he was informed before what happens that are happening. Ondo State governor has told the residents to be calm, that they are in charge of the situation. But that's something that you're supposed to tell the state government, and you begin to mount your security operatives at very vital areas based on the information provided by you. So what is the essence of a secret service letting the entire world know about something that is considered to be a secret?
It's no more secret. I don't know what happened to that leaked information, or the rationale behind the information being released to the public, and even the terrorists now being aware that they are coming, and they have to map out another strategy. You remember our massacre?
Yeah.
And Ondo State is such another flashpoint. And we have seen Kogi Kwara flank, Strokedo has been very hot lately. So I don't know. I expect that things of this nature should be very coded, especially securely coded, so that they can be swapped on unaware. But I mean, the security agencies and that are involved in this should be able to tell Nigerians what led to this.
It's quite a scary situation, Mr. Elvis. I was very shocked. I know that we're being bedeviled with insecurity from almost all angles. I don't know why we're seeing this resurgence, because it has not abated at all. It's become so brazen. I really don't understand why the president has not necessarily taken any decisive action with this.
We have not done the right thing we are supposed to do, Esther. The right thing these days is not just putting Nigeria army into this kind of very stressful and difficult situation. Wars are fought now with technology. Look at what Israel did to Hamas. They would have finished before their soldiers go in. What are we looking at here? You are telling Nigerian soldiers to just go in, and many of them don't even have bulletproof. They just go in stark naked. I don't know. We are not serious. And intelligent gathering, where are we in it? It's still zero. People are afraid people are afraid to give information, because they know at the end of the day, the same way we are looking at this, what we are talking about this evening, just leaked out. That's how it will leak out. Okay, these are the people that are.
It's almost like you inform them ahead of time. They
yes.
don't know. Say when they come, they wanna shift your dates to another time.
So from this one we just read now, Esther, if you have any information, any intel, will you be able to give it to the military?
Can you imagine?
Or the armed forces to work on, because you know too well tomorrow that it will leak, and these terrorists will go after your life. So these are some of the issues.
Meanwhile, the Defense Intelligence Agency is still holding to the 60 military officers in a secret location for weeks, and the family is expressing worries. At least 60 military officers are currently being detained in Comunicado by the Defense Intelligence Agency. We don't know if it is these individuals that gave them the flashpoint for terrorist attack in Ondo and Kogi State, because they've been under serious investigation since then. But what is surprising to me, Mr. Elvis, is that the military came out to debunk that there is nothing like that.
Yes, that's where we are
So
worried.
these 16 officers who are still being held in Comunicado over alleged coup d'etat or coup plot, if we heard that it's the DSS, they're the ones in charge of this, which they have been on even before Independence Day, why would the military come to deny it?
That's where we are worried, Esther, because there are two information on the street now. The federal government has not made any pronouncement on this, but the military defense headquarters have said there is nothing like coup plot. That what they are doing is just a normal discipline exercising within the military. So why are these guys being held in Comunicado? And if they are incarcerated for what some other offenses, let their name be listed and let their offenses be attached to them, so that Nigerian can know, okay, it's not coup plot. This is what this one have done. This is what this one have done. But now we have two different information on the street, and it is not well with a government that is talking about transparency.
I don't
Nigerians
understand.
have to know, because
Did
you
the
just
government ever
the
tell
family.
you that they were transparent?
No, I mean that's.
I don't think they ever made that statement
no,
at any public forum.
they
never said so.
We want every government that we have to be transparent.
Okay.
Because as citizens of this nation, you have this opportunity, it's your right to know what is actually happening within your government, so that even when you are talking about your government, you'll be able to speak adequately well about it, not this kind of shading information.
Exactly.
Now, what you just made mention of, that the family is being worried. Even the
They were
family
thinking that the conversation or the interrogation would have been done by now.
by now,
But it hasn't been done.
Yeah, nothing has come up. So let us still wait. Maybe we are
But
going to.
isn't it funny that persons planned a coup? You refuse to mention their names.
Well, let's believe that they are still doing their
No, normally they mention
investigation.
names.
They mention names. That's why they are picked up.
To ensure, and they're paraded immediately.
Yeah.
For the defense intelligence to have mentioned that this is what they wanted to do, these are the coup plotters or whatever, and then they rounded them up, they must have done their proper investigations.
At their own level, they are aware of the offenses of these 16 officers.
Okay.
Number one, and they know what they have done to get them to this level that they are already there. They are arrested. But what is here to be clear before Nigerians is it really cool? Or is there any other thing?
Or is it distraction?
Is it a dereliction of duty? Maybe some of them, are seconded from their duty post. Is that what is happening? Or some of them are,
No, the first thing we heard was concerning something about exams. They complained.
No, they said these officers have, failed their exam repeatedly.
Exactly.
And as a
Said they were
result,
frustrated.
they were feeling frustrated or being victimized. So the military now felt that, okay, if you are agitating that, okay, you are being victimized or whatever, probably there is a sanction to that. That's the one we heard. But from there, we heard of coup plot, like reported in Sahara Reporter that there was a coup plot and all that led to the independence celebration, being thwarted. So, but we want the federal government to actually, because the military defense headquarters has actually denied that now.
Yes.
But we also want to hear from the federal government aside of it. Okay, is it really true, or are they in line with what the defense headquarters have said? Okay, why are these officers still being held if really there was no coup? What is their offense? And who are these officers? These are very simple things for Nigerians to know. These officers are Nigerians.
We have other topics we'll look into. The Senate seeking burden of proof on INEC in election petitions under new electoral acts. For example, they passed for second reading a bill seeking the repeal of the 2022 Electoral Act and enactment of the 2025 Act, during which it proposed for the shift of burden of proof on electoral litigation from litigants to the Independent National Electoral Commission, being the organizer and supervisor of the elections. And the current legal position in the Nigerian electoral litigation maintains that the petitioner who challenges an election result bears the initial and primary burden of proof in line with the Electoral Evidence Act, which says he who asserts must prove. So we're going to come to that. I already know why. I think I have an idea as to why this is from what happened in 2023. So if you allege that you were rigged, You must bring proof that you were actually rigged, and your proof must have there must be evidence. Exactly. Now, Mr. Elvis, let's go back to the first topic, because these are the topics we're going to be looking into today. Now, let's meticulously look into them. The situation with Nnamdi Kanu naming these persons. In what angle are they meant to respond as witnesses? Because when you bring a witness to respond for you, the witness is meant to defend you based on cross-examination from the prosecuting counsel and the defense counsel. The prosecuting counsel, they're done. All the witnesses they brought in were DSS operatives. And most of the DSS operatives were behind a screen while they were responding. Now, the questions were asked on if indeed some of the rhetorics and narratives that Nnamdi Kanu spewed, if they were actionable offenses. They also said if they saw with their eyes anything done that you could consider treason. They also asked the narrative, that is the things that they heard, where did you hear them from? Was it self-confessed? When Nnamdi Kanu was given all the statements he was given, did he have a legal representative? Because Nnamdi Kanu said, I think the first time there was no legal representative, so it was like his responses were done under duress. And I think the court at the time said, that he was meant to have a legal counsel there to represent him. Nnamdi Kanu also alluded that for days while he was in DSS custody, they didn't allow him to have access to his legal counsel. So there was no guidance. The prosecuting counsel or whoever was interrogating, that's DSS operatives, kept interrogating. And you know how interrogation goes. Yeah. They could use any measure to ensure that they extract whatever information they want to extract from you that may be convenient for them. These were the things that he described until I think his family kept on insisting that legal representation was needed. And it was all the statements he made, according to him, under duress by the DSS that was brought as evidence by the prosecuting counsel in court. Also, most of his broadcasts and tapes were what was played as well in court, which was an evidence for the prosecuting counsel. So my question is, how does Nyesom Wike, Yusuf Bichi, I may even understand Malami, also the National Intelligence Agency director at the time, what's his other name? Dave Umahi, Imo State Governor Hope Uzodinma. I think I may relate with that because of the incident that happened at his home board. Did Nnamdi Kanu get some top secret information about these individuals that he wants to present to his legal team to cross-examine these witnesses? And are these witnesses appearing to defend him, or they're going to say, we don't know, or we don't even understand what we're here? And secondly, can these witnesses decide not to be in court or send representatives, because some of them are active workers, like they're active FCT minister, active governor, former DG, former chief of army staff. I don't know if Buratai is currently in Nigeria at the moment. What's your take on that?
Well, even if they appear physically or they send representative, it is still, allowed by law.
Okay.
So that's just it. The issue we should be worried about, Esther, is some of the names. How did they really concern this incarceration of Nnamdi Kanu? Like you mentioned Lagos State Governor.
Yeah.
What role is he playing in his incarceration?
That's what I don't know.
Then he mentioned there are some names there that I see like, I don't know how those names have to come in.
And he said they are compellable witnesses.
Yeah, but when he says compellable, what is he trying to prove to?
He said they are vital and compellable witnesses.
I understand.
Meaning that the law, based on, according to him, under Section 232 of the Evidence Act, I don't know what evidence he's presenting in court that these people are going to serve as a determinant for.
I think his legal team should also be able to know more about why these names are peddled. Because for me, when you talk of Buratai, the former chief of army staff,
and the former minister of defense, yes, there's also Imo State Governor,
and even the
NIA, yes, former NIA DG.
Yes, one could understand this one.
Former Abia State Governor as well.
Okay, as well. I don't know.
Minister of Works too.
Is present or former minister?
Minister of Works, Dave Umahi.
Dave Umahi is presently the current Minister of Works.
Minister of Works too.
Yes, but
he's also part of the compellable.
So one will be taken aback. What are the role these ones are playing?
I don't know.
NIA for him to be extradited from Kenya down here. That there would have been a plan from DSS, NIA, and all, and even the chief of army staff and all, former chief of army staff and all that. That's understandable. But since other names that he's mentioning, I think they have to come to the court and clear their
It's
names.
very indicting.
Yeah, because I especially when you are talking about Lagos State governor. But I know every governor that from the southeast that he mentioned are culpable. They have one or two things to answer.
You think so?
Yes, they should, because even he's been in detention till today. Some of them have the hands in it.
When you say vital and compellable witnesses, you're presenting witnesses. Are they supposed to testify on your behalf? You're the defense team. You're opening your own defense now. So you're bringing witnesses to testify. Are they coming to testify on your behalf, or they're coming in for them to be cross-examined?
They are going to be cross-examined on what they know about his incarceration. So that's they can't testify on his behalf because he has mentioned them. He want them to come and.
Is it possible that these names listed are those responsible for his incarceration?
Well, he should know better.
That he wants them for cross-examination.
Esther, the issue is that you and I here don't know. We don't know much about the intel he has.
Yeah.
Since he's been there for 4 years, he must have known
Is
those.
it 4 years?
Yeah, since 2021.
Was it 2021 or 2020? Okay, it was
2021. It was June 2021. He was brought in. So he knows those that have been part of his being incarceration. So he knows the role most of these names he mentioned have played. So I think he know better. I think himself and his team, a legal team, should be able to cross-examine these people very well.
He seems very ready.
He's ready because he even said 90 days.
And that the reason why he's asking for 90 days is because he's setting the number of witnesses and the nature of evidence he intends to present.
That's the issue. That's the issue, because
you?
that means he has a lot of information. He has a lot of intel on his palm that he wants to present before the court, probably which the court and you and I are not aware of. So when this case is opened up, then we'll begin to hear more. We are going to.
There was a time I heard him tell his legal team not to tell people to beg for him.
Yes, he has said that.
Stop saying you have to beg.
Yes.
He was coming from a very confident perspective. Could it be because he was stalling
probably,
from mentioning these names?
Yeah, probably because of what we are seeing now. Because he feels he is justified in whatever
he's
he is
going
doing.
to trial for treason. These names are attached to treason.
Treasonable offenses we have seen Nigerians that have gone through it, and some of them have come out of it. So if his son may be also be.
No, what I'm saying, the names that he's listing, the persons he's calling, for them to have one form or link or the other to him, and he's going through a treasonable situation, that's hugely indicting, especially on the current governors and ministers.
Well, the current governors will probably, they are still on immunity. They will send in whatever, cancers to just whatever. If really they are going to honor it. Esther, he
said vital and compellable.
This was released today. This was released today.
So they have to be served.
So by between now and tomorrow, we are going to hear more from this name mentioned, because this is just a developing story. We are going to hear more.
And from tomorrow he's coming to court. His case is going to present in
so
court.
By this time tomorrow, we should hear more from most of these names he mentioned, their involvement, or whether they are going to honor this someone or whatever. So I think by then we'll be able to know those that are coming, the role they played that kept him there, and the role they have played, they are still going to play when they get to this defense. That they are being called for. Then we'll hear more. We saw Putapane in this nation now.
Yeah.
We saw most of the names that people that were invited to Putapane, how they were able to go through it and how they came out of it. So we are still going to. This is just one man who have mentioned so many names. We know too well that everybody is like, okay, let this man be released, but even to him, he feels justified. He feels that if all he has to pour out before Nigerians is, handled appropriately and legally, that he is going to be vindicated.
Interesting. So what's it with Nnamdi Kanu reshuffling his legal team? Most times, I'm sure you know about Michael Zekome. Then the other one, Ejiofor, the very fair one, that one stopped representing him. Before we saw Kanu Agabi along with Aloy Jimakor, Maxwell Okpara, and the rest of them. Could it be that there are some of his legal team who may be selling him out, and then he got an information that they're selling him out and decided for them to be changed? Or maybe he feel they were not going the extra mile in having to accelerate him being released from the DSS custody?
Well, it is right, Esther. If you feel your legal team is not doing your bidding, they are not doing enough, and you have the means to get more, you can ease out the ones you have. I think it's right. But this very present one, he seems very close to these ones.
Yeah.
And he's been doing very well with them. But if he's having the mind or changing them, well, especially now that his case is going for hearing, he has the reason. Maybe probably want to show up those people. He has just mentioned name. Probably the legal team is bringing are even aware of what they are going to do with these names.
But if you're going to be bringing another team or another person, that person has to go through the case all over again.
And that would delay again. So
because
these are...
earlier today, he met with Kanu Agabi. Remember that Aloy is not there. He's still in detention. Okay, so fine. He met with Kanu Agabi. They discussed. And later, Kanu now signed, suggesting that he may have disengaged his legal team led by Kanu Agabi. Now, with the disengagement, what we don't know about disengagement is either they were done at the court premises and everybody has been disengaged to go while he goes back to the custody, or Kanu Agabi is no longer representing. But I think that's one high profile person representing him, because that man was a former Attorney General of the Federation. So you could say that just like Wole Olanipekwon, that he's in a good place to defend him. For him to brazenly call out all these names, it raises the curiosity of a lot of Nigerians as to what exactly is at play here and what impact or what form of affiliation these individuals listed have with Nnamdi Kanu and the treasonable felony trial that he's going through. I don't know if in the course of his broadcast he mentioned any of these names. I know he mentioned Hope Uzodimma a couple of times.
Yeah.
He also mentioned Buratai, who was the chief of army staff.
Buratai also is very understandable.
Yes,
very
yes.
understandable.
He mentioned his name. A couple of the Southeast governors too. I'm not surprised about the name of Okeze Ekpazu. I'm not surprised about that.
That's his state governor.
Yes, then that was the state governor then of Abia State. Yes. Then was it the state governor in Abia State at the time? Yes. Okay, Zekpazu is the one that Alex Oti took over from.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And so he's from Abia.
He's from Abia. So you now have what's his name? Bichi, the former DSS boss. It's not going to be surprising because those were the ones in charge of his case.
That's really not.
And I think the former DSS boss was also the one who was it the one that apprehended him the first time? He appeared in court in 2015.
No.
He was not DSS. No. It was not Bichi.
No, I don't.
Are you sure?
Yeah, I don't think.
Okay.
Because it was this matter happened in 2021, 6 years.
This is the second time. No, the first time he was caught. Have you forgotten where he was caught?
That was the time he now jumped the bay.
When they came to his home.
When they came to his home, that led to Abaribo's involvement. That 100 million.
Abaribo was his shorty.
Was shorty on 100 million that he when he jumped that bay was asked to pay it.
Yes. So also Oluwatosin Adiola Ajayi, the current SSDG. Would they cross-examine the current SSDG?
I mean, the SSS go.
Does he have any form of immunity against that?
No. They go to court most of the time to prosecute their. The SS has been doing that. They have team of lawyers too, that will be there. That will represent. I mean, whatever they are called for, because they are very much involved in this matter. So we will look at that. Then you will also look at by if really is disengaging his legal team, that will be in a court tomorrow. Will be able to tell the judge that he has a new team, and those ones will also seek for time for them to study the case before they. We will know by
tomorrow if it's going to be led by.
So that's why I said everything he mentioned today is like a developing story.
There's something this man knows,
that we don't know. So by tomorrow in the court, maybe we speak part of the bill
names are
for
indicted.
Nigerians to know. Yes. Then Esther is.
Could it be all this information that had kept him incarcerated all this while? Whatever it is he knows about those people.
He should be able to tell Nigerians more about that tomorrow.
Do you think they will let us know? Because his case is they will do their thing.
No, Nnamdi Kanu
is just allow stuff to filter out.
Nnamdi Kanu is not that kind of person you can silence. He talks. You have seen so many time in court that he will he's even angry. He will be. We will
just see him appear in court, but they don't let the process show. So what happens is the court writes out the procession. But if anything that they consider to be quite delicate, they wouldn't let people know. They would just summarize what exactly transpired. So if, for example, the Justice Omotosho had given him 6 days for his defense and he's asking for 90 days, all of this were done today after he met with his counsel. do you think that the 90 days will be granted? Because that's what he's asking
That's
for.
at the discretion. Of the chief judge.
Okay.
Yes.
So by tomorrow, we'll now get to know if they will grant
Yeah,
him 90
90
days,
days, yes.
or if they will tell him that these witnesses you're mentioning, we may not approve of it.
If he has all to cover all that number of days, remember the court is not only for him.
Yeah.
So that's that will come from the judge if it is going to be granted.
Amongst the witnesses he mentioned, they don't necessarily have to be there physically.
No. They can send
representatives. What if they don't even know that they're meant to even be witnesses there? Because there are some names that is actually shocking me.
Yes.
What if they don't know they're meant to be witnesses? Because I think by now they ought to be served.
Even the names he mentioned, some of them would have been shocked for their name to be in that list.
Yes.
Because I don't know, I can't fathom some of the correlation between some of the names he mentioned and his case.
Yeah.
But he knows better.
Now, let's look at this whole agitation of Nnamdi Kanu. There are diverse views as to attached to his personality. Some people think the political leaders in the Southeast are not happy with the kind of followership he garnered or the kind of worship that he got. Some others think that he was the cause of the unrest in the Southeast, considering how Nigeria and Biafra supposedly they are not like this, they're like this. And so it's like the government is trying to supposedly understand that particular region, possibly integrate with them, and then he came and decided to disengage what had taken years for people to try to understand and come together with all of the narrative that he put out there. Others felt that there were better ways through which you could have gone about this than the way he went about it. And others feel that if he hadn't done it, the Southeast may not be protected because the boundary between that region and Benue is very thin. What is going on with Benue, there are talks that the same thing would have happened in the Southeast if that kind of measure that he instituted was not applied. What's your take with that?
What kind of measure?
The establishment of the Eastern Security Network.
Is the Eastern Security Network actually defending the Southeasterners?
From insecurity at the time when we had the whole invasion of some terrorists,
because most of the insecurity problem we have from there, we keep hearing that they are members of Eastern Security Network. Eastern Security, is it meant for, is Nnamdi Kanu actually in support of Eastern Security Network, what they are doing currently?
I don't think it's Eastern Security Network that is the issue right now.
It's not the
They
issue.
are not attributing what happened, what is going on in the East with Eastern Security Network, but they're always attaching it generally to IPOB. And IPOB has always said they are not a violent group.
And he has said it, that if he's released today, that this insecurity in the Southeast will be a thing of the past.
Is it the one that said it, or it is what a couple of people are saying that?
No, he said it.
Him?
He said it in court that if he's released, that they should give within some hours, this insecurity will be a thing of the past in the Southeast.
So what does that mean?
What it means is that presently he is not part of what is going on. People have hijacked his good motive.
Okay.
And not turn it to something else. And this is why we are calling on his release. If he's released, let's see those who have turned it to, money making venture. This is they do kidnapping and all that.
It's terrible.
And at the end of the day, if those ones are now caught, they can be tried and prosecuted as the law of the land, pronounced on them. So those ones who are actually working for him, who feel relegated if he's released today, they will align with him. We have seen Masob before now, was Rike Masob. We saw how that one has actually, kind of fizzle out now. So if Nnamdi Kanu comes out today, he should be able to see fit. Let's know those ones who are the real criminals, wearing this cloud of, IPOB, using his name. Because Nnamdi Kanu cannot be part of, the people he said he's fighting for, and now being the people that are being killed, being kidnapped, even in poverty. You are now being asked people to go and look for 10 million, 20 million for ransom. I don't think Nnamdi Kanu will be part of that. So that's the reason why we are saying, let this man be released. Let federal government now begin to know the difference between the criminality attached to IPOB and Nnamdi Kanu. So he should, those who actually align with him, we actually, if he's released today, even if they were the one that fomented the trouble, their boss is now released, they will drop their arm. But those one who have not turned into business will not be, I mean, the armed forces should not beam searchlight on those ones, get them arrested anytime they are caught, and be prosecuted accordingly.
Tomorrow he's appearing in court for the opening of his defense. We'll get to know a lot of what is at stake. I'll actually speak with Barrister Evans Ufeli. He's an international lawyer, and he has actually been following this case of Nnamdi Kanu. He has even provided, ideas for his legal team on how to go about his matter, all this while that he's been in the DSS. So he would have to give us a complete breakdown of what the process entails and the list of persons mentioned, how many days they will appear, because the prosecuting counsel did not give us the name of these DSS operatives who were witnesses. I don't know if you understand what I'm saying.
I understand.
They were not mentioned.
Yeah.
They were DSS operatives, but their names weren't called. They were called P13, P10, P something. Exactly. So I don't know if there is any security breach for before he's meant to come, before the defense will be opened, where all these people's names were mentioned. The idea is to protect your witnesses.
Is to protect the witnesses.
The idea is to protect the witnesses, yes. But in this case, he mentioned the witnesses. So with mentioning the names of your witnesses, I don't think the idea is to protect them. I think the idea is to expose certain things that he must know they were actually part of. The one he mentioned
now are already exposed.
Yes.
But the government protected their own.
That's what I'm saying.
So I think he has reason for his exposing their own. Is from the one from his own side.
The witnesses he's bringing, are they meant to testify to defend him, or they are going to be cross-examined by his legal team? Because you don't mention the names of your witnesses for security reasons. I don't know if you get what I'm trying to say. That was what the prosecuting counsel did. So I think that these names, or do you think, let me not say I think, do you think these names were deliberately mentioned?
I think he wants Nigerians to know the involvement of these names in his incarceration. I think because if you are coming in to be cross-examined, you are coming to say what you know about it. So I think he wants Nigerians to know some of these names he mentioned, the role they have played, their involvement in what he has been going through for the past 4 years.
Interesting. Okay. Now, in that particular regard, let's look at Malami, the former Attorney General of the Federation.
Yes.
I recall at the time that there was a lot of plea to Malami. He was one who facilitated the process for the extraordinary rendition of Nnamdi Kanu. Not just that, he was one who compiled his case. He was in charge of that case. He was one who was the prosecuting lead of that case. The government of Bola Ahmed Tinubu took over from Malami. And it's funny because Malami is now in the opposition. He's not in the ruling party of the APC.
He's in ADC now.
He's now in ADC. So one would have thought that somehow, since he's now in the opposition, there would have been some sort of influence to supposedly see how a resolution would have been met or attained. I don't know if you understand what I'm saying. Because all the while that Malami was there, all the political resolutions that were sought, none of it came to fruition. None of it. He was adamant and resolute, and they were the ones who did not accelerate his trial on time. He was just kept there. Yeah. It was deliberate that they wanted to keep him there. So in that regard right now, would we say that Malami breached the law by not doing what was needed to be done? You arrested somebody, you detained the person, you say the person committed treason, you did not compile your evidence on time, you deliberately disenfranchised this man from his human rights. I remember that Nnamdi Kanu had health issues. He complained about the living condition. He also complained about no privacy, sort of, especially when he was meeting with his legal counsel. So, in that question, do you think the federal government has any punitive measures on Malami? Because obviously the prosecuting counsel would interrogate those individuals as well.
There is a popular saying that justice delayed is justice denied. So because his fundamental human right has been infringed on over these years because his trial has been delayed. In that case, one could say Malami has an ulterior motive towards that delay. But you also have to look at the case that the federal government has hanging on Nnamdi Kanu's neck. They say treasonable offense. Treasonable offense is the punishment that goes with it.
Yes.
So every I's must be dotted and T's must be crossed before a judgment can be given. Because if that judgment is given and it's against him, you know the implication. So I think that government will tell you that they were still, going through their investigation to actually ascertain the veracity of the charges they have against him. But the big question is, before you pick somebody up, why is your investigation not concluded before you picked him up and even extradited him from China, from Kenya down to Nigeria? So those are the questions Nigerians should be asking. Why the delay, when one would have expected that if you say this person is being brought to the court for treason, that means you would have concluded your investigation before a pronouncement or a trial can be placed on him that, okay, this is what we are trying you for. So that's where we are looking at why the delay has some hints of political motive in it.
For Omoyele Sowore, who has been at the forefront for a while now, because for the past 1 week or even before October 20, he was trending ever since he took it upon himself to go on this protest. Sowore is insisting that the authorities do not want Nnamdi Kanu out alive. So these are his words. Ever since they realized that their web of deceit was beginning to unravel, which is why there's a mystery about these names that were mentioned. That ever since they realized that their web of deceit was beginning to unravel, they have gone into overdrive. The activists further declared that the authorities know that the people's eyes have opened and fake political careers built on deceit, destruction, and the decimation of the oppressed will not survive the truth. That they fear his freedom because it will expose their fraud, greed, backstabbing, and betrayal of justice, and that's why they don't want him out alive. I recall when we spoke, I think yesterday or 2 days ago, for you felt that the protest was not necessary.
Yeah.
Why do you think so?
It wasn't necessary because the Nnamdi Kanu's release cannot be achieved on the street.
Okay.
Nnamdi Kanu's release should be more of negotiation and more of political negotiation, which I believe that will come from the who is who, the political bigwigs in the Southeast, to take up that responsibility.
Do you know that there are some persons in the political echelon who do not want him out? I'm speaking of the fact that when Sowore took up this mandate of a protest for his release, we saw both the North, the Southwest, and even some top persons in the Southeast who said no.
I see some.
Let him go through the process.
Yes, I see.
You cannot allow him to be released. So it's a collective response that there must be no political resolution. Do you think this is what is impeding the hand that be from supposedly extending that gesture of a political resolution?
No. Those are just personal opinion.
Okay.
Yeah, if the federal government is opened, the Southeastern bigwigs, open up this negotiation with the federal government. The onus lie with the federal government to listen or not to listen. Not this one we are hearing from other person. We are seeing people granted political freedom in some of these matters before now.
Bello Bodejo, that one very obvious.
But then we saw even Igboho as in the South.
Can you connect Igboho's with this one? Is there a similarity in both cases?
Igboho was talking about the Southwesterners, also becoming a
republic. That was when insecurity was rife, when we had terrorists invading their lands, killing their people.
It's the same thing. Nnamdi Kanu is also talking about that. Terrorism must not thrive in the Southeast. That if the federal government of Nigeria cannot take care of their responsibility, then Biafra Republic should be declared so that they can take care of their responsibility of their welfare and security by themselves. It's the same thing.
And the same method on Nnamdi Kanu's home is what was also meted on Igboho's home.
Yes, the same way Igboho's home was also raided and vandalized and all that. It's the same thing that happened to Nnamdi Kanu. So if you do not ask the question of why is Igboho out of his own, Nnamdi Kanu is not out of his own. What if these offenses are on the same table, we are talking about seceding from Nigeria because Nigeria government cannot take care of the responsibility of the people, the so-called governed people. So if that can be achieved by the South Western people, why can't it also not be achieved by the?
Is why I ask you, could it be that it's some of the words that were said, because we saw some narratives that
Esther,
were put out there.
when
That a couple of people think that, okay, maybe that's the reason why they're saying somebody who did not give instruction, go and do this, go and destroy that, go and do whatever.
But we saw Igboho's rallies. We saw Igboho's rallies. Words could be termed inciting, that it was inciting the people. Then that's a different ball game, because there is already an agitation on ground. Then you have to speak in line with your agitation and be talking to your people. So the person who also organized rally to say, okay, he's doing the same thing. So if that kind of person can be getting, if he can get a reprieve, then the other man should also be considered for such thing as well. So that's where the big wigs from the east concern that, okay, let's put behind what has happened.
But you do know that there is a major there's no cohesion amongst the political elites in the southeast concerning the matter of Nnamdi Kanu.
Yes, there is no.
If you look at the 5 southeastern governors, Hope Uzodinma and this guy, they are not friends. Chukwuma Soludo has never been about this whole Biafra thing. He doesn't believe in that agenda. He has been very vocal about it. He believes that youth should be fruitfully engaged, and that if you give them something to do, they should do that. He believes that method has always it's radical, and he doesn't like that angle. For Ebonyi State, Francis Nwifuru, that's Dave Umahi's boy.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Where you are not wrong in saying that.
He's a political godfather, sort of. So before anybody will say, he's a political godfather. So obviously that's not along the way.
You told the line of his political godfather.
And Governor Peter Mbah of Enugu State, well, some persons will say he's still...
He has been dilly-dallying.
Yes. Not necessarily. He has not... I don't know the connection. I don't know if they have any form of familiarity. But he has not really learned his voice until very recently, where he talked about a political resolution will be sought. Former Governor of Abia State, Orji Uzor Kalu, also maintains that his case is in court. So let us see how that unravels, okay? And then the only person that seemed to have been more strategic in response is Alex Oti,
the present governor of
Abia State. And one would say he knows why he's being careful. Peter Obi has said there is no reason why he should be in detention. But he has never questioned or said he should not go through his process in court. He only said, accelerate the process. Let's know what you want to do. So why don't we have this cohesion? Could it be that they believe whatever charges are thrown at him? Could it also be that they're afraid of the kind of followership he had, or that he's a threat to their political ambition?
They can never believe in his ambition, because if you look at the trajectory, Esther, if Governor Soludo is talking about youth engagement and making youth busy so that they will not take up to follow a decision that is not going to be, that will be detrimental to their future.
Okay.
You will now look at the line of the names of the governors you have mentioned. The one that have served in the past and the present one. Have they actually engaged the youth? Have they actually come up with programs that will actually give the youth that freedom to be able to make money for themselves and have that means of livelihood?
You're speaking of the Southeast governors.
Yeah, they have.
Chukwuma Soludo has several programs. So
yes, Chukwuma Soludo just brought that one in, and we are seeing he has been mentioning names. Those that have benefited from it. Can you speak of such in Imo State?
That's true.
Yeah, you can't. Okay, throughout 8 years of Dave Umahi, remember Dave Umahi was not new to governance. He was deputy governor before he became governor. So can you also speak of that for Ebonyi youths? But we are seeing what Soludo is trying to do now, and what Alex Oti just within 2 years is trying to do. So if there are lacuna here that youth have not been carried along and they have not been powered enough, the person who is there that the youth have said, okay, if this man is free and the government of this man can give us a better life, these people who have jeopardized the life of the youth will not allow such man to have freedom, because they know that the man, when he comes out, he will be able to sway the youth to his own side at the detriment of the kind of life they have lived with the youth over the years, like what we are seeing in the Amajeri case in the north. That's why some of the when they say, oh, we are talking about we are looking into Nnamdi Kanu's release. I keep on saying it's just political statement, Esther. Many of them are having it's like me just telling us a different thing in the daytime, and at night they know what they are saying. So if really names like Ojus Okalu is a very popular person in this APC party and the government today, then you also mention somebody like Hope Uzodinma, who is like the person that even brought APC more entrenched into the southeast. Then these people, if they meet the present president today, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, genuinely, and say, okay, this is what we are seeking, and President Ahmed Bola Tinubu, knowing fully well that he has a 2027 general election, that he wants to make a better inroad into the southeast, this matter can be looked into, Esther. There could be some condition the federal government will give. Okay, we want to do this, but this is what you also do. Then it can be released on that ground. It's not as if you are just saying release and go and be free on the street. There should be some monitoring. Okay, don't do this. We don't want you to organize rally, and all that. There could be some condition on which the federal government will use to release him. But first of all, let him be out of incarceration. Then every other thing can now be talked on.
It will not be surprising to see that these names he mentioned are persons he considers to be those to talk about his extraordinary rendition from Kenya, and then the military invasion in his home. Maybe those who gave the order to that.
We may not be able to know the veracity of this person's involvement. But
so
he knows.
I think it's more of a cross-examination. I don't think they're meant to testify on his behalf. They're meant to be cross-examined.
Cross-examined to say whatever they know about his being
Yes,
I think that's what he's wanting Nigerians to hear.
All right, we'll take a very short break, ladies and gentlemen. Do kindly stay with us because we have more interesting conversation coming up, and therefore we'll open the phone lines for you. We'll be right back after this break.
Customer, welcome. What do you want buy?
I want buy changeover. Cutout fuse and distribution board made of 100% heavy duty copper.
Oh, come, I get am. See, I'm here.
No, now I'm looking for Slatter Star J cutout fuse and distribution board, Nipo cutout fuse, Star J solar battery, inverter, MPPT controller, and solar panel.
But Oga,
don't worry. I know where to get them. Whether na Star J changeover cutout fuse, Slatter distribution board, Nipo cutout fuse, Star J solar battery, inverter, MPPT controller, and solar panel, Star J ceiling fan, sockets, all earthen materials. Make you no go do cover-wise pan foolish o. Slatter Star J Indian product na #1 since 1961. Made of 100% heavy-duty solid copper with no compromise. Available in all leading electrical shops nationwide. Slatter Star J, na you Pico.
Lagos, are you ready? The Niger Landlord Summit 2025 is here. Join us on Saturday, 1st November 2025 at the Golden Tulip Hotel, International Airport Road for the biggest gathering of real estate minds in Nigeria. Come and discover how to profit from the booming housing demand in Nigeria. Explore funding and investment opportunities that work. Gain insights and government housing policies shaping the market. Experience the latest prop tech innovations transforming property ownership. Network with top developers, investors, and policymakers all in one room. Don't miss this power-packed event. Registration is 50,000 naira only, with full access to sections, exhibitions, with premium networking and refreshment. How to register? Make payment to VOPFM account number 112-416-8488. Again, 112-416-8488. Zenith Bank. Send your proof of payment via WhatsApp to 0707 115 4297. 0707 115 4297.
All right, right, welcome back. You're still listening to the Evening Rush right here on Voice of the People 90.3 FM. I told you we do this audio visual. We're currently streaming live on YouTube at VOP 903 FM. You can also join me on Facebook as well. Esther Wachiko, I'm currently streaming live as well on Facebook to virtually be part of the conversation. I have as my analyst and guest this evening Mr. Elvis Elimehele. He's a journalist as well, over 3 decades, and also he can give us incisive details on social and political issues. Mr. Elvis, a federal high court in Abuja, has refused to grant bail to Tukur Mamu, a publisher of Desert Herald newspaper. In the ruling today, the presiding judge dismissed Mamu's fresh bail application despite his claims of deteriorating health. The judge directed the Department of State Services, which is detaining Mamu, to take him to an appropriate medical facility for proper treatment, since he said his health is deteriorating. Umar noted that the prosecution has been diligent in handling the case, and that the lack of diligence is one of the key grounds in which the bail is granted. So they've been diligent in his case, so there's no need for that. So they also ordered that Mamu be allowed to choose a health facility of his preference, and that the DSS should grant him access to his family members. So this is the third time Mamu has been denied bail since his arraignment in March 21, 2023 on a 10-count charge bordering on terrorism financing, amongst other offenses. He was arrested on September 7, 2022 by Egyptian security officials at Cairo International Airport and subsequently repatriated to Nigeria on suspicion of financing terrorism. The federal government alleged that he facilitated negotiations between families of hostages abducted during the March 2022 Abuja-Kaduna train attack and members of Boko Haram for his personal financial gain. What's the difference between this guy and Sheikh Gumi?
Really, yes, I don't know the difference, because I thought this guy is even one of the boys of Sheikh Gumi that he uses for negotiation. But a situation where this guy is in detention and Sheikh Gumi is going scot-free shows that there's still some things that Nigerians still need to know about fighting our terrorism. Has always had a sort
of soft spot for these guys, has encouraged the DSS security operatives that they should consider dialogue with these terrorists after all the mayhem that they have done. It's almost like do not punish them. He has been an advocate of resolving whatever and integrating these guys into the military. Very recently, his son too graduated.
Was part of this, yes.
So these are the fears about the military as a whole, and the fact that it's become a faction of certain elements who are sponsoring terrorism in Nigeria. There are also talks that it now seems to be a systemic tool to either adulterate the effectiveness of the government, especially if they want whoever is in charge of the government to do their bidding. Do you think that's what it is?
Yeah, it's quite clear that somebody like Sheikh Gumi is very influential with the government. And is somebody that even within the northern states is somebody that is like an influential person, that ordinarily one would have expected that what is coming out from him is not what is expected.
Okay.
Yes, he should have been able to toe the line of the federal government. One, it should be established that terrorism is already a crime against Nigerians, irrespective of whether from the north or from the south.
Okay.
Then for him now to be advocating for terrorists released, rehabilitated, and be integrated into the society, you are not talking about the people these terrorists have actually taken life, snuffed life out of, and even those that have gone through a lot of stress, all in the name of paying of ransom, and even some are maimed in the process. No, he's not even talking about that. So why is he claiming more right for the terrorists than the victims? That's the big question.
That's what I
the
don't
victims,
understand.
Because the victims are supposed to be people that these are just innocent persons that were just picked up in their own home or in their own farm.
I'm sure you saw the recent video of a young lady begging,
yes,
please help me.
Yeah,
did you see that video?
I saw that young lady.
And aside from that, more abductions are taking place. Plus the DSS leak about an attack by ISWAP in Ondo and Kogi State.
That that young girl video is from Auchi, from my state. And you know what has happened? What has happened since the new government came into Edo State? there was a very functional command and control center that the former governor built, that was used
That's
that covered
Obaseki, right?
that covered most part of Edo State for against insecurity. But you know what happened during that election in September 2024? The IG disbanded the Edo State Security Network.
Have you forgotten that your governor's campaign speech about security?
Yes, where
Have
he
you
said
forgotten?
he said he was going to bring insecurity to Edo State.
So why are you
So
surprised?
I mean, no. So I'm just telling you that a situation where it's like the federal government is actually aiding some of these things to happen. The Edo State vigilante was working so well. That command and control center, what happened to it today? Where they have all the armed forces, both the police, the army, the DSS, and all in that cover most part of Edo State, and to be able to see at least what is happening today. Nobody that center is closed with as sophisticatedly equipped as that center. So some of these things we are seeing. So a situation where what we are seeing now is nobody should we should know the truth and speak the truth to government, because the same thing we are talking about Gumi is happening in various states. Most of these people that you see in some of these states know why the insecurity is festering, but unfortunately, because of their selfishness and because of what they are benefiting from the government, they tend to come out and begin to placate it and say, no, it's not the way we are seeing it. But a video is released, that also brings to our to the fore, Esther. A video is released. You and I have NIN, we have all BVN, we have all, for registering our phone. If I speak any ill against the government today, I can be traced. But this video
your
is
social
released.
Media account can be traced.
Yes,
they have their IPPIs. They
Video
know what to do.
is brazenly released by bandits, and the federal government cannot trace it in this 21st century technology.
I don't understand.
These are some of the things where we're talking about. How?
No, Mr. Elvis, they can do it. There's this guy called Harrison Gwamishu. Yes, he's been doing quite a lot of work on, in partnership with the security operatives. And let me not lie to you, he has done a lot, especially for Delta State. This tracking is what they've been using to apprehend these criminals. Literal, what you call tracking.
Yeah.
Tracking the mobile phones that they steal. Tracking the phones they use for videos. So why can't it be utilized by agencies? Because I know the money they're given. When the Nigerian police wants to work, Mr. Elvis, they will work if you give them the right incentive.
Especially the failure of this Esther, apart from the police, DSS.
So what happened in Abuja with Somto, the Arise TV young lady?
Yeah.
Immediately the federal government asked the FCT minister that this case must be investigated, and those involved, in a week, Mr. Elvis, all of them.
They got the culprits.
So what does this indicate? What does this say? That is this deliberate? That the government that we sweat and work and give our taxpayers money deliberately don't want to use whatever effort they can provide to ensure that these individuals cannot continue like this.
It can't continue like this. That's the reason why we must continue to remind them.
Ondo, is it not Southwest?
Yes. Already Edo is in trouble. We have seen Kwara Kogi Edo is already taking over. Then they are not coming into Ondo. Ondo has always been a trouble spot, Esther. You remember the Owo massacre? Remember even the daughter of Afenifere chieftain that was killed, So Ondo has always been you remember even Olufalaye himself was adopted sometime, So we should only be talking about, because we are in Lagos, that some of those things have not been too entrenched in Lagos, but we also see some pocket of it. Remember the time they started going to some school in the cross the river and come in and all that. But the big question is, how long will it take Nigeria government to be able to know that this has become a international disgrace for us to look into the solution? We just saw Israel, unearthing every area that the Hamas practically have a life underground.
Beyond that, Israel is where they are. Those individuals in any, can you remember when they tracked one device that they had?
Yes.
Wherever they were standing, that thing just exploded. That was massive.
So if Israel can get all this technology, I'm not saying we should get them overnight. Why don't we also begin to talk of, okay, let's begin to be closer to these persons, these countries that have all this, for us to be able to use it. We are talking about safeguarding our citizens now. Unfortunately, nobody is talking about that. But the billions that are released for security, every budget we hear for security has been having the lion's share of the budget for some years now. How has it actually been utilized? You'll be hearing that even the military, the young men that are at the front, at the war front, are not fed well. They are not paid well. Allowances are not paid well. Who are the persons responsible for all this? Why have they not been brought to book? What is the role of the National Assembly about all this matter? At the end of the day, so these are big questions to be asking
we
ourselves.
need to open the phone lines very soon, but very quickly. The Senate passed for second reading a bill seeking the repeal of the 2022 Electoral Act and enactment of the 2025 Act, during which it proposed for the shift of burden of proof on electoral litigation from litigants to the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, being the organizer and supervisor of the elections. The current legal position in the Nigerian electoral litigation maintains that the petitioner who challenges an election result bears the initial and primary burden of proof in line with the Evidence Act, which says he who asserts must prove. But during debate on general principles of the bill, many of the senators, including the president of the Senate, Godswill Akpabio, posited that the onus of proof in such litigation should be placed on INEC and not the individual who is accusing INEC that they were rigged or something. So Senator Seriake Dixon of Bayelsa made the submission in his contribution and said burden of proof must shift to INEC to make it more credible and transparent in the sensitive duty of electoral conduct and supervision. For Godswill Akpabio, when this case came, one of the reasons was because he was affected. Can you remember in 2019 about his case? According to Godswill Akpabio, that it was the fault of the INEC official. And that the INEC official, there was no prosecution of the INEC official, no punitive measure, that the INEC official is working free. Meanwhile, they were the ones who committed the error. This is one of the reasons why him being the Senate president is questionable, which sort of brought some discredit to him. Do you think if something like that hadn't happened to him, that he would support that the onus should be on INEC and not on the individual who presents to say, I was rigged, so I must prove? I don't know if you get my drift.
I get your drift. INEC has a responsibility.
Okay.
Because, Esther, if you have a child in school and the child fails exam, you ask the teacher, what happened?
Okay.
Is it that he's not concentrating? Or the child is naturally not ready to learn? INEC told Nigeria, I'll be tell Nigeria all what they are going to do concerning election. Anambra is just coming now again. At the end of the day, we see infractions. Then the candidate now carries all the burden, gathering all the evidences to get to court. INEC is now even coming like a witness. It's not supposed to be. Because Nigerians gave INEC all the belief, the trust that you are the one that is conducting this election as an umpire. Then if I now said no, there were infractions, then the whole responsibility of gathering all the evidences and the information for me to get to court now lies on me alone. INEC is only coming as witness to come and defend their own part of it. I think we should expand that part of the Electoral Act. INEC should be a major player in whatever election they conduct that did not come out well for you and I to come and tell Nigerians why they failed in their responsibility.
All right. Ladies and gentlemen, let's take your reaction. The number to call is 080-3692-9933. 080-3692-9933. The WhatsApp number is 0817-1756-338. All right. We're already getting calls. Hello. Good evening. How are you? Welcome. What's your name, please?
This is Uncle Femi from Uganda. I want to talk about the Sanwo-olu issue and Kano.
Okay.
What Sanwo-olu is just too complicated issues on Kano. Sanwo-olu is just trying to make his own play to do his own through that. His way is the new genuine protest. I can tell his way is genuine protest. He just tries to make himself relevant so that at the end of the day, if you just come out to say, I want to be a governor for this thing, I want to be this, I want to be that. So let the Hebrews, let them gather together and talk to the president. And I believe they stay in the UK, or if they allow, if they say, they is already in court, they can wait or come to judge to decide. Then I thought, the issue of security is very good that can perfect all those things. And we need we need to be more vigilant within our street. We see strange people, we see strange things in our street, but we don't talk. Some people want to talk, they really challenge their eyes, that's your concern. Can't you sort of provide? Did they come to your house? Did they kidnap your family? And you don't even know, if at all you still don't have to talk, you don't know what exactly you are going to do at the police station. Then you go to report. So everybody is just conscious. Everybody is just conscious about his or our movement to talk. So we just help us. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you for calling. 080-3692-9933. Hello. Good evening, Robert.
Hello?
Welcome. How are you?
Good evening, ma.
Welcome, sir. Where are you calling us from?
I'm calling from my papa.
All right, go ahead, sir.
I greet your guests.
Thank
Good
you
evening,
very
sir.
much.
Yes, so the prosecution has linked Nnamdi as a mastermind of the end SARS protest.
The what?
Why the report? No, the prosecutor linked Nnamdi as a mastermind of the end SARS protest now.
Okay, yeah.
So
yes.
that is why he mentioned the Lagos State governor. The inquiry panel that investigated that matter was set up in Lagos State.
Yes.
So that's why Sanwo-olu need to come to testify, according to him.
Yeah, that's a beautiful angle. Yeah, true. Yeah, go ahead, sir.
Then 2, on the part of Danjuma.
Yeah.
Kanu also was accused of setting up a security formation, ECN, without legal backing. Okay? You remember, Danjuma was a top security personnel in the government security agency. So due to the persistent killing across Nigeria, he once asked communities to defend themselves against insecurity.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
So this must have been one of the basis that made Nnamdi Kanu to form ECN in order to defend his community.
Okay.
So Danjuma need to appear in the court to affirm his directive as evidence in a video published by no media.
Okay.
The Malami is very sensitive also Malami is very sensitive as it affects a border on how Nnamdi Kanu was repatriated from Kenya to Nigeria, which the process is against international treaty Nigeria signed. Malami was the Minister of Justice and Attorney General during regime. So he need to come and explain why he go against that treaty that was signed. So on Wike issue, Wike will explain the Obigbo massacre that happened in 2020, where some IPOP members were killed. He was the governor of Rivers State then. You remember? So these are the reasons why. But the question is that would they appear? Our legal system now. Some people are bigger in the hook, while others are very free. But if someone refuses to appear in court after being summoned, they can face serious consequences, right? So let us see how the case goes. Maybe these people Nnamdi Kanu mentioned will not appear.
Okay.
Thank you very much, Esther.
Robert, that was beautiful. Thank you so much. Aptly put. That because basically all of them are associated with, because I don't know how the NSAS thing became an IPOP thing.
Are we that NSAS? He was already in detention. He was still out of the country. That was 2020. He has not been picked up.
The Lagos State government, we were hearing some people make it seem as if it was IPOP that instigated the violence of NSAS.
You see the way. So
maybe that's why the governor is being called.
You see the way NSAS took up. NSAS started in Delta State.
It was because of the broadcast. Have you forgotten his broadcast that circulated at the time? So they attributed some damages to the instructions from him. Now, the Lagos State government, because one of the officials of the Lagos State government, one of the aides to Governor Sanwo-olu, said they trailed those who did some of the things they did and executed them. They're the ones who can tell us indeed if they were indeed IPOP persons or they were random thugs who are not IPOP. I don't know, but they did not disclose the names of the individuals.
Well,
you remember that led to the suspension at the time?
Yeah, it led to this. Yeah, it led to the suspension. But
hello, good evening.
Hello, Esther.
Good evening, sir. Welcome. How are you?
Yeah, I'm Edward calling for Sanwo.
Welcome, sir, Mr. Edward. Please go ahead.
On this security issue, I want Nigerians to always talk truth.
Okay.
Nigerians, yes, they're supposed to talk truth. Nobody is a little shy in Nigeria now.
Okay.
Somebody's supposed to go and tell the president that he's not doing well in security. They never tell him the main truth about it, because releasing budget on every year and using nothing is an offense. Then this killing, there's a list inside their office through during Buhari time, because leadership.
Hello.
Leadership is hereditary.
Okay.
He never tell Nigerians the people that are sponsoring Boko Haram. And he never tell Nigeria how many people that have been prosecuted since. What we are hearing is that they are pardoning them. They are pardoning them, and they are fighting insecurity. If the president cannot handle lives and properties of Nigeria, let him resign. Let him resign. Because we cannot be seen dead, falling every day. And it's playing the politics of 95% in politics and 5% in securing the nation. How can that one work? People are not telling the president the truth. If people have been telling the president the truth, he will know how to secure lives and property. And if the president can come to national level and make a broadcast that this thing is getting out of hand, all Nigerians can be prepared to safeguard themselves now. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you for calling. All right. Hello. Good evening. How are you? Hello. 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 You're calling on WhatsApp and I'm saying hello. Can you kindly respond? Okay. I don't think this person knows I'm talking to him yet. Hello. Good evening. How are you? Welcome.
Hello.
Yes. Good evening. Welcome. What's your name?
Good evening.
Good evening, sir. What's your name? Welcome.
Hello.
I can hear you. What is your name? This is what, sir?
This is Wale calling from my
Okay, Wale. All right, well done. Wale, please go ahead.
On the state of the issue that Ilan the Kanu I heard about it. I'm just shaking my hands.
Okay.
I'm just shaking my hands. It's not doing that. This man is just skills.
Hello? Okay.
What the federal government is doing? I was so angry with the federal government. I'm so angry with it. You guys are joking. This man is and they're just jokers. Talking to the federal government. This is not impeachment. What I'm teaching. This is president. This is teaching. I'm not joking. They're just joking with the federal government. And I'm so angry with it. I'm so angry with it. It's just propaganda. Pure propaganda. I'm telling you guys, folks. And the man in the studio was complaining with me. Please can only do it. I can show you what to do. Very well, was telling to do. So let me show you what to do. Very well, was telling to the program of Lagos. I'm telling you to go down Parkway. I don't know what that's for. Only to go down and just keep where you came from. Let me show you what to do. Very well, what was going to that. I can tell 10 different videos. I can was going to be going down or clear people. So let me know compare the two. It's all so. I did not want that. I'm so angry today. Let me tell you, straight up with their homes. Even the images like the Christian. Even the Christian. Abba. So,
all right. Thank you for calling. Thank you for calling. do you have any reaction?
I don't pick anything.
No, he said that T.Y. Danjuma and Sanwo-olu from where to where, that Nnamdi Kanu is playing with the federal government, that the federal government should sentence him. If they want to give him death sentence, they should do it. If they want to sentence him to life, they should do it. That they are dilly-dallying, that if he, in fact, he's angry with the president because they're wasting the federal government's time. And that the case of Sunday Igboho and Nnamdi Kanu is not the same thing. They should show him videos of where Sunday Igboho said, go and kill people, go and burn down houses, go and burn police stations and all whatnot, which is in reference to attributing what Nnamdi Kanu said to the NSAS destruction and all of that, so that they're not comparable. That the case of Sunday Igboho and Nnamdi Kanu is not the same.
Question.
Hello?
Because the last time I checked, Nnamdi Kanu, nobody has ever caught Nnamdi Kanu with a gun. Nobody have ever, caught him with a gun. The Sunday Igboho you talked about, Sunday Igboho, we saw him with at least double barrel in the public, shooting on the air. You remember when he took his groups or troops to Buratai in Oyo State, and he went there and fought for many days against Fulani militias. You remember that many people were dead. Many people were killed in that war, that 2 or 3 day war, and the property is destroyed. That was in Sunday Igboho before the DSS attacked him. Even when the DSS attacked him, they discovered a rifle in his house, and I think they killed two of his men. But Esther Nwachukwu and Nigerian press and Nigerian journalists, can you one day please mention any day you see Nnamdi Kanu or you saw Nnamdi Kanu with a gun, with a rifle or with a gun, with a koboko? Please, if you have seen Nnamdi Kanu with such arm, please, publish it. Let the world see.
All right, thank you.
Nnamdi Kanu is going through what he's going through because he's an Igbo man,
okay,
and nothing else.
All right, thank you very much.
Thank you for the good night.
You didn't tell me your name, and I see it's an international number, and you didn't tell me the country we're calling from. He started talking before we're able to
before
begin.
we came in.
All right, so what's your response to what the other caller said? He was very agitated.
If he's saying, Nnamdi Kanu's case is different from
Sunday Igboho,
I will not really agree with him on that. Both of them are fighting for liberation of their people. That's what it. Whether he's talking about the delay in Nnamdi Kanu's being, that's how.
So he's saying that Nnamdi Kanu's legal team is playing with the federal government. No. That he doesn't understand where Sanwo-olu, from where to where. How are they calling someone? A
case as sensitive as treasonable offense, Esther, it's not something that you just dispense within 1 week. You know the penalties that is attached to that. So let it be that it is followed appropriately. That at the end of the day, even when he's going to be sentenced or whatever, on the ground of appeal and all that, we just see that there is really nothing to look into that. This case was properly, we have seen it was properly taken care of before it got to that level. We have seen Nnamdi Kanu has come to say, I don't have confidence in some of the judges before I rescue the judges. So you can even see. So it should leave that for the government to decide.
All right. Thank you very much, Mr. Elvis. Hello, good evening. How are you? Turn down the volume of your radio, please. Hello?
Hello?
Yes, how are you? What's your
name?
Good evening.
Good evening.
I can hear you, sir. Good evening. What's your name?
Good evening.
Okay.
Hello?
I can hear you.
Hello?
Okay. Please kindly call us back. 08036929933. 08036929933. That's the number. Hello, good evening. How are you? Turn down the volume of your radio, please. Hello.
Good evening, sir.
Good evening, sir. Welcome. How are you?
Yeah, this is Monday from Agua.
Monday, can you turn down the volume of your radio? You want to hear yourself. Turn it off completely, please. Hello?
Yeah,
all right, please kindly call me back when you turn down the volume of your radio, because you can't hear me, and also the feedback is irritated. 08036929933. Hello, good evening. How are you?
Hello, Esther.
Good evening, sir. Welcome. How are you, sir?
I'm okay.
Welcome.
My name is Sulu. This is Sulu. I'm calling from the Tire.
Tunde, how is the Tire this evening, sir?
The Tire is very, very cool.
All right, please go ahead.
Esther, I give you a guest on the studio.
Okay,
Good evening,
sir.
sir.
Good evening, sir. Welcome.
You know what? Nigerian situation, I'm getting tired of Nigerian situation. It's just that what is going on, our leader doesn't, they are less concerned of what is going on in our nation. I don't know what is really going on. Simply because they don't value the human life. That is the reason why they are behaving like that. And I say Nigeria, I like put the blame on Nigerians too, because Nigerians don't value their life. Concerning in my area that I'm living, they are still supposed to have the food, but then they are still moving, getting closer to them and collecting this cup of rice they are still collecting. That's why economy issue that we are facing.
Okay.
And there's too much of a structure. Insecurity not only in north or east, it happen in Lagos technically. Example, I went to go and buy something and some Islam start disturbing me and they extorting me and nobody will come and rescue me, not even police. Everybody was just looking for what we need without assisting each other. It's not a good country. Is that the way we have been continue to be living? So I believe Nigeria will still get it better. That is my belief.
All right, thank
That's
you
my
very much.
submission. God bless you and God bless you guys.
Thank you so much, Cindy. Thank you. 08036929933. That's the number. 08036929933. The WhatsApp number is 0817175638. Hello, good evening. How are you?
Good evening, Esther.
Good evening, sir. Welcome. Please, what's your name?
Hello?
I can hear you, sir. Welcome. What's your name?
My name is M.M. Mari.
Okay, M.M. Mari.
Yeah.
All right, M.M. Mari, where are you calling from?
I'm calling from Ikorodu. Let's tell ourselves the truth.
Okay,
Esther.
all right.
The Almighty God did not create Nigeria to be one. We are just living by force. So may the Almighty God help every one of us. Hello?
I can hear you, Mr. Mari. I can hear you.
The Almighty God did not create Nigeria to be one. We are just living by force. The only God will help us. That is all. Let them free now.
Mr. Mari? Mr. Mari, can you hear me? Oh, sorry. Yes.
He has made his point.
Hello, good evening. How are you?
Yeah, good evening.
Good evening, sir. Welcome. What's your name?
Yes, I'm calling from Okuku.
Your name is what, sir?
Charles.
Charles, from where?
From Okuku.
All right, Mr. Charles. Okay, welcome. Please go ahead, sir. Go ahead, Mr. Charles.
Yeah, I want to speak on this issue pertaining to insecurity.
All right, go ahead, Mr. Charles. We can hear you.
Okay, please. You see, in the military,
Yes.
please, I beg all of us, we should watch it. Watch the people after said the Boko Haram to enroll them to the military. May God help our military. Because what they are training now, they are just training terrorists inside the military. Military are no longer united. They are not one anymore. That's why you can see the discrepancy, the confusion between our soldiers. They don't have that morale,
That sense of oneness.
that sense of oneness anymore, because they don't know who they are working with.
Tribalism has
Yes,
also come
has
in.
also come in. True.
They don't know who they are working with. Soldiers don't know who they are working with anymore. They don't know their colleagues. They don't know anything. They don't know who is who. Please, may God help the Nigerian army
All right, thank you.
from the hands of Islamic terrorists that are all over there.
All right, thank you very much.
It is well. Thank you.
Thank you. I don't want to call them Islamic terrorists. Islam is a religion of peace. So let's just say some extremists amongst the
And
Nigerian
it's peculiar
military.
to all religion.
Yeah, and it's peculiar to
Extremism.
all religion. Hello, good
Question in
evening.
Nigeria, even
Oga, hey, I did not hear your intro. You were just talking. Hello, good evening. How are you?
hello, good evening.
Good evening, sir. Welcome. What's your name?
Mr. Adébọ̀wálé from Ago.
Mr. Adebowale from.
This is my first time. Yes,
Oh, welcome.
I've been trying to connect you for long.
Oh,
Yeah, thank you.
My bell is not here. I have a blow bell for you. Welcome, sir. Please go ahead.
No problem.
Yes,
You
sir.
see, our problem is tribalism.
Okay.
That's number one. And the judiciary is very, very worse. We have not been honest with ourselves. And that's what is causing the major problem we have. And that's why people don't like people who are honest. Kano is trying to struggle and help the whole nation. If you help the East, if we are, then things will be okay. But you can see a lot of things happening all over. Why would they not give the politicians chance to be chancing us and be doing all what they like? Look at the judiciary. If they want to talk, they will support the president. They will support other people. They will fight for the truth. How can you delay people for somebody for 7 years? If he wants to fight for right, it is that person they will face and try to preach him. In this Nigeria is to be honest. America, they are not trailing because of anything. It's because they are honest. All the other Saudi and other countries that they are developing, if their honesty and one, if they can make one voice, and when everybody is shouting to reprotect, leave Nnamdi Kanu, what has he done? Has he killed anybody's son or anybody's people? To do. What we need is peace in Nigeria is to be honest and to be godly. If we are not being sincere with ourselves and we are looking at tribes, this could worst. I only pray may God help us out. If we are not being sincere, look at the police. People are doing rally. On what? They are just protesting. Does that mean you have to discourage them? Please, let's talk to people. Let them be honest. From the Eastern region, things will be right. From the west, from the north,
Thank
may
you.
God help us.
Thank
That's the little change I can tell.
Thank you so
All
much,
right.
sir. God bless you. Thank you. Hello, good evening. How are you?
Hello, sir. Good evening.
Good evening, sir. Welcome. How are you?
Yeah, I'm fine. How's everything?
We did. We did.
Okay.
What's your
I'm
name?
pleased to calling from Ijuota.
You're calling from where?
I'm calling from Ijuota.
Juota.
Iju.
Ijuota. Okay, Ijuota.
Yeah.
All right,
Yeah.
sir. Please go ahead.
My please over it, Mr. Obata.
No, that's not. Mr. Peter is not here. It's Mr. Elvis Salim Mehele, sir. But go ahead.
Okay. My please to your guest over there.
Yeah.
Good evening.
But that's true. Only one thing I have to say is I've lost it all. But God will help us. You see this kind matter.
Can you turn down your radio? The feedback is affecting.
I'm not there.
Okay, you were saying?
You see, this is not the carbon matter. Maybe not a do swim on mind is mass. May they not drop a maybe. May they time something take on their head. May they not, because I see no reason to see bandits. Esther, I travel Abuja road every time. Esther, if you see what those guys do for road, nobody pay anyone. See soldiers. Soldier will be looking at them. Later, everybody will start to exaggerate enter bush. But these man, no, I didn't see what color don't run down to organize. Okay, let it be like this. Since then, I matter with the drag. Yes, all of us know where we go. We know what we do. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Hello, good evening. Okay, this is your network. Obado is bad. Please call back 08036929933. I'll soon be taking some messages. Hello, good evening. Good evening. Hello. Yes, I can hear you. Good evening. Welcome, sir. What's your name? Andrew, how are you?
I'm fine.
All right. Please go ahead.
Remember when I told you that the president used 30,000 capacity bunker buster to go to political parties and convention. Do you know what's happening? Is that the way to go about it? Not to continue. Now, when I want the radio station, it's not just anything. If you talk for like 1 hour plus, then you not do what people is or 1.5
For
minutes.
you to talk now, you are talking another thing. Talk your talk.
Wait, let me come out, let me help us to fight them because your voice will be heard more than our own. That is what I'm going to.
Wait,
I'm not going to
are we not? That's that's what we're doing
We've
now.
also open up the line. Have the opportunity to talk.
Now,
I expected that at the end of all this our conversation, then like a blueprint will be taken to the gentleman or guy on the top. Somebody our people they talk with. That's what I'm talking about.
do you know how many articles we have written?
We are not hearing.
Articles we have written.
Okay, you are the right thing. Tell me that I have been doing that. That means
With a combined effort. Okay, you want kind of good for my body. I'm not no.
Now if you talk bad one, then you say that abuse them. But when you talk good one, nobody will listen to you. Is that how to do it?
No vex, I beg. Thank you very much, sir. But not be me, Bikono. I'm also a citizen like you. Hello, good evening. How are you? Hello, sir. Sir, your wife is calling you at the back. Oh, you know, hello, sir.
Hello.
Your wife is calling you, Mr. Go and answer your wife. All right, let me read out some messages here. Well, tons of messages. This person says, okay, you need a job. All right, send your CV. Please, I think I called it out yesterday. If there are any job opportunities in your place of work, sometimes there'll be job opportunities, but they don't know how to get it out. Please send it to me on WhatsApp 0817-1756-338. All right, please, it's very important. You didn't tell me your name, the person that sent you need a job, so send your CV, your name, and what you're able to do. All right, well done. All right, okay. Esther, good evening. Peter from Ejibo. Nigerians are not serious at all, and I really pity for this generation and generations yet unborn. Esther, imagine Chief Awolowo, Nnamdi Azikiwe, and also likes of Tafawa Balewa fought colonial masters but cannot bravely engage their local colonial masters, not imported masters. I'm ashamed being a Nigerian. Which day I will go stop? All right. This person says, good evening, VOP. I'm Triple A from Ojo. Esther, my advice to the president is he should not joke with the insecurity going on. He should know that he who rides on a tiger, on a lion, after they have killed all the animals, what do you think will happen to the rider? Okay. Esther, a man called yesterday and said the governor of Abia State took his land to build an airport without being indemnified. My father's lands in Umweze Okun Sulu was also columbied by the Alex Oti government in Abia State, and we are yet to be pacified. Please, we need help. Kelechi from Surulere. All right. Okay. I think we will have to call on the Abia State, one of their media aides, to respond to this next week. By the grace of God, next week, Tuesday, I'll reach out to them this weekend. By next week, Tuesday, we would have Chief Press Secretary will have a chat with them because somebody called yesterday on the program to complain about this, and we need to hear. I think the issue is that the governor said they had pacified everyone. Somebody called and said it's not everyone. So maybe the governor was not properly informed, or
the wrong person in that family was
compensated
at the detriment of others.
All right,
it's possible.
So we'll connect with them and we'll speak with them. We'll have a conversation with them here. All right. Esther, good evening. Someone had the guts to say they should kill Kanu, and he had never called that they should kill the Fulani terrorists. He said he's angry. Just keep your anger to your family to call on national radio and start instigating the government against Kanu. What about the terrorists killing innocent people every day and nothing is done about it? Please do have a good night. KJL. So I think he said he's angry at the government.
He's angry at the government.
That they need to expedite judgment on Nnamdi Kanu. Well, a couple of people have their own perception to the whole situation. The guy is
has become very polarized.
The guy very polarized. Yes. There are ethnic colorations to this whole thing. Some people, what the man said is basically what a couple of people like him think that should be done to Nnamdi Kanu.
It became worse with this protest of yesterday.
You think so?
Yes.
You think Showere worsened it with the calling of?
There was no aim for that protest, Esther. I keep telling you. What have we gotten now? What have we benefited? There's nothing that is going to come out of that protest. Wow. Knowing fully well that even the Sowore himself, the federal government, how have they taken him? So,
Okay. Good evening, Esther. God can only help those that need help. Nigeria does not need God's help. Nnamdi Kalu has stated his demand. Referendum on nothing. Will the Igbos be free at last? Donjo from Ijesha. Okay. Donjo. This person says, greetings to VOP. Well done, Esther, on your good work. Your analyst said that Nnamdi Kanu cannot be treated. Okay. Oga, please write legibly so I can comprehend what you're saying, okay? Please, it's important. Good evening, Esther. Point of correction. Mazen Nnamdi Kanu didn't jump bill, only a still stand. Okay. Some people don't know how to express themselves. Good evening, Madam Esther. The Igbo leader are the problem of Mr. Nnamdi. Please let them release this man for God's sake. My name is Joseph from Agege. It is the usual character of the DSS to issue warning on pending terrorist attack. They're telling residents to run or defend themselves because they lack the capacity to repel attacks or arrest criminals before they strike. So the people are left to their fate. See, Ogai Boho and Kanu case are in the same. Please don't misrepresent facts. Also, after he fled to Benin Republic, he was arrested and freed after trial. And Esther, now wow, where you always get your narratives from, talking about Kanu changing his legal team due to one selling him out. All the names he mentioned are familiar names, aren't friends with Kanu, and easier to appear in court in a different scenario to be them testifying against him. So I don't know what such someone would amount to. It's not a narrative. Did you even follow the conversation from the beginning? What's your name?
see, when you tune with the news.
I don't think he followed the conversation, so I don't know. So it's not a narrative. It's basically what is here, what is in the news. Read it out, check it out yourself, okay? All right. Good evening, Esther. Good evening, and good evening to your guests. My name is Comrade Dr. Charles Chidi from Ikoto. I'm grateful to hear the names Mazen Nnamdi Kanu listed out as witnesses to his case. The Army General should come to explain to the world about the Python dance that made Nnamdi Kanu to jump bail. Now let the case be open. Good evening, Esther and the learned guest, the analyst, the analysis, this is Mr. Robot from Apapa, and what the analyst did is very accurate. Mr. Darlington has been vindicated now when he was saying these people should tread softly, but everyone was persecuting him. When they arrest these people now, they didn't arrest Shawara now. Shawara is moving everywhere. Even people like they should come out and protest again. Is that the angle to look at it?
That has been another discussion in
But
in
Shawara
the
has
polity.
come out to clarify that's not what it is.
What?
It's just that he entered the DSS custody to see them and still came out.
Now, that's why Nigerians
And
are saying,
they didn't hold him
that's
back.
why Nigerians are saying, why is the convener that even went to the office of the DSS, the police station, and is not arrested? Then those who came out to support his mission are the ones that are, arrested. So one can understand with the lawyer, but Nnamdi Kanu's brother is like just coming to support the call of the convener.
Good evening, Esther. Thanks for the wonderful job. God Almighty will continue His mercy upon you. All Nigerians should get up against 2027 election because it's like INEC was the major problem we have in this country. God will judge you all. Ayanwale Kainde Bababe January from Oshodi.
Is it going to change?
I don't know. Good evening, Esther and the guest. That man who always calls from Ayobo is a sadist. He always comes after people who criticize this government, and he doesn't have any point to counter his argument. Jeffrey from Ebeda. This is Ejituru Edward from Ikoton. Please let Tinubu resign, please. Okay. From the little I know about Nigerian government, none of these witnesses mentioned by Kanu will appear. In fact, by tomorrow, we should be hearing that the court has denied him that request. You'll be surprised that this government will protect both Malami, who is their current enemy, as long as it settles their own interests, because in Nigerian politics, what they have is permanent interests and not permanent enemies. Ororo from Ayobo. All these things happening. Okay. The demolition. We saw. Did you hear about the Alaba International?
Yeah,
The
fire break
fire.
early this morning. Yeah,
No, it was on Tuesday.
Okay.
Tuesday evening, and then this person is sending me videos of demolitions that took place. What do you think about that fire?
That fire
People are
is
beginning to say this thing is too targeted.
Well, the government will tell you that they're going to investigate it, but to me, I don't know. Alaba is not that crowded to that extent that
I don't know.
That fire is something that
It's questionable.
questionable.
From Mandalas to Alaba, then Trade Fair, then
Demolition in trade fair.
Yes, in Trade Fair, then Ikota.
Gutter demolition as well. And
Okay.
now the fire. That
It
is
is well.
very saddening to hear that
Yeah.
about that fire.
Good evening, Esther, and to your guest, Mr. Eli Mehela in the studio. Solomon Asikash from Mushi. I wouldn't blame Mazen Nnamdi Kanu for mentioning these individuals. Don't you know him being incarcerated for this long will disorient him both mentally, physically, and spiritually. In fact, I'm tired
He's
of
not
too
even
many conspiracy
disoriented.
concerning him. What? We all know him being held. There is no justification for it. Do you think that that's the case? The reason why he mentioned these names? Somebody just explained to you how these names are connected to
Yeah.
his case and why they must come to respond, answer questions. Good evening to you, Esther, and the guest. Your guest is not from the Southeast, so he wouldn't know what is the real cause of insecurity in the Southeast, but making his analysis based on what the Nigerian media compiled. ESN is never the cause of insecurity in the Southeast. If not for the presence of ESN in the Southeast, the territory would have been rounded up by these terrorists. The height of their gallant resistance against these invading terrorists is the reason why Igbo youths are being massacred en masse by the Nigerian security operatives and the armed personnel that are being hired from the Niger Delta, because the plans these terrorists who have been brazenly pampered by the Nigerian government fashioned against the people of the region have really failed to succeed, just like they're having a workover in the Middle Belt. Frank Noble. Good evening, Esther and the guest in the studio. Esther, I thought that the government of APC has reached an agreement with the criminals called bandits and Boko Haram to stop the killings of innocent citizens by giving them whatever they demanded, because APC knows how they entered Nigeria in order to unseat GEJ's government. Please, APC and their followers should end what they started. Esther, well, we are eager to see how Nnamdi Kanu's case will go, but wait a minute. Nnamdi Kanu was kidnapped from Kenya to Nigeria, which is against international standards. So the government that kidnapped Nnamdi Kanu should face trials also. Esther, Nnamdi Kanu and his legal team would not be stupid to mention those names. Esther, we are in interesting time. Esther, there is nothing hidden under the sun, okay? Oh God, arise and trouble those troubling Nigerians. Mayor from Ikotun, I like your MFM prayer point. Good evening, Esther. Please do not. Okay. Okay, Grandma Maggie, she says I should not read her message out. Okay, Grandma, thank you very much. I've read it. Good evening, Esther. Good evening. Leaders of the Southeast can't fight for Kanu. Have you forgotten how he was calling them out in his broadcast and insulting them? Danjuma that he called was because he said people should take up arms and defend themselves. So nothing special about it. Let him face what he brought to himself, period. From Daddy Uzurumba. On Sunday Igboho's case, he had the backing of his people, like some notable Yoruba professors and even Obasanjo, who went to Benin to secure his release. Esther Wachuku, now waiting I do you past 2 months now. If I send message, you know they read them. Shay, I offend you? Onyekachi Wachuku from Ajao. Onyekachi, you did not send your message. You just sent message to complain. It is well.
And it's been
Good
read
evening,
now.
VOP, evening rush. Quite some time. I don't know why my message is not being read. On insecurity, Esther, you people don't value lives in your country. In as much as the lives involved is not relatives of the presidents, governors, and members of red and green chambers, may God give everyone that's involved in Nnamdi Kanu's case wisdom for peaceful conclusion. I think the protest is necessary because the world is watching. Amma from Ogun State. Good evening, Esther. As it stands today, Mazen Nnamdi Kanu is the most accepted and most popular individual in Igbo land. I am not surprised at the behavior and ostrich attitude being played by Igbo politicians because they are all afraid of his popularity. Whether they like it or not, they should know that there is time for everything, and the time to release Nnamdi Kanu is now. Have a blessed night, Esther, from His Royal Highness B.C. Nwoko Inoshodi. Obed Orji. The protest was very necessary. The whole world was aware of the protest. The protest has achieved its purpose, whether police stopped it or not. You heard Omoyele Sowore tell whoever wanted to hear that the Monday protest was just the beginning. Nnamdi Kanu has also said a bigger protest was in the making. Let me tell you that Kanu has agreed to open up his defense because of the outcome of the protest. The whole world is not interested in Nnamdi Kanu's case more than before because of the outcome of the October 20 protest in Abuja. The president will wade in. Hopefully, he wants to return to Aso Rock in 2027. From the little I know about Nigerian government, none of these witnesses mentioned by Kanu will appear. In fact, by tomorrow, we should be hearing that the court has denied him that request. Interesting. Esther, you are both really getting much of the permutations about the judicial and legal systems wrong. It cracks me up. Summons and testificandum, summons to testify, is directed to the person mentioned in the summons. Whoever is summoned to testify in court can't delegate such order of court. Witnesses don't appear in representative capacity. All right. Also, MNK has the right to call as many witnesses as he so desires to prove his case, and this can take as many days as is reasonable necessary. Now, PW1, PW2, etc. is not a kind of protection or shield. It's the name prosecutor witnesses are referred to during trial. Nnamdi Kanu's witnesses will be referred to as DW1, that's defense witness 1, and defense witness 2, defense witness 3, etc. Each of these witnesses mentions their name when he or she enters the witness box. So nothing protective here. It's part of our legal jargon. I will stop here. Jane from Ikeja, I'm sending you a kiss. Thank you, Jane. You're so magnanimous in providing us knowledge. I sincerely do appreciate you, Jane. God bless you. I do hope that I can contact you. You need to come to the studio. Jane, can I contact you to come analyze legal matters for us in the studio? Please. I really love you. Thank you so much for that. Good evening, Esther. Nnamdi Kanu didn't jump bail because he was in his house when Nigerian Operation Python Dance went to his house and killed over 20 youth. And luckily enough, he escaped. Please, I want to ask your analyst, if you are the one, will you remain there to be killed? Also, ESN was established by Kanu to defend the Southeast. The terrorists in the Southeast were established by Asari Dokubo. So they're the ones behind all the kidnapping, killings, etc. that is going on in the Southeast. Evangelist Chukuma from Ikotu. Esther, good evening. I sent message this morning to Judas Show and he did not read the message out because he's looking for position in APC government. Esther, please tell Igbo people to unite and put their house in order. They are divided. Tell them to have one voice and fight for their brother in detention. Even Ohaneze Indibo have endorsed Tinubu for 2027, and somebody is blaming Shiwere for organizing protest. I think Shiwere is a wise guy. Thank you, Esther. Andy Saleh from Ishari Dimu. Good evening, VOP. Esther, we don't have laws in Nigeria. Lawyers as a profession is dying in Nigeria. Please free Nnamdi Kanu from Tony Mas Ilasamaja, Lagos. Good evening, Esther. The fact remains that Tinubu has done less or nothing about insecurity, lavish in the country. During Buhari's regime, he can at least condemn the attack by speech. Despite not taking much action in this Tinubu's regime, he doesn't give any speech, neither condemn any attack. He pretends like nothing is happening, even though military life was involved. Let them free Nnamdi Kanu. Injustice for one is injustice for all. Ralph from Satellite Town. Hello, good evening. How are you? Turn down the volume of your radio.
Hello,
I am fine, sir. Welcome. Good evening, sir. I can hear you, sir. Good evening.
good evening.
How are you?
Hello? Yeah, you cannot hear me. I'm talking. It's Chooks.
Chooks, I can hear you. Please go
I
ahead.
appreciate your analyst.
Thank you very much.
He has given balanced analysis.
Okay.
This evening.
Okay.
Good evening, sir.
Good evening.
And what I want to say simply is that everything that he has analyzed can be arranged and put into one basket. And the only solution is to get this government out of the saddle. I want to tell you the truth of the matter. If we don't get them out of the saddle by 2027, all of us we are in for it. That is just it. So much of all this analysis should be tailored towards how to get them out. They are doing their own bit now. Look at Soludo sharing money to establish his own tentacles, and towards 2027 for the presidency. And look at Lagos State too, what they are doing, the local governments, empowering themselves to get their voters registered. I don't know what we are doing as Nigerians. So Imakinde said it is going to be between Nigerians and the ruling government. Good evening.
All right, thank you very much. Okay, thank you for calling. I'll take one more call. All right, so we can wrap up. 08036929933. Hello, good evening. How are you? Thank you for the radio. Hello.
Hello, good evening.
Good evening, sir. What's your name?
This is Basil from Janiki.
Wasiu from Ijaniki.
Yes, Basil.
Basil from Ijaniki. Okay, Mr. Basil, please go ahead.
I just I'm just confused.
Okay.
What is the problem with Tinubu? He's not the one that arrested this guy.
Okay.
He's not in power. The person that brought this case is not even alive. And they are still disturbing themselves about Nnamdi Kanu.
Okay.
What are the things they have now against him? What does they know? The reason for this arresting this guy? It's not allowed. They should let this guy go and Nigeria has peace for Christ's sake. Thank you. Good night.
Good night. Thank you very much. At admin Henry Uchasia 2859. Yes, I received your book. Thank you so much. Thank you very, very much. I have started reading it, so I sincerely do appreciate you. I love books. Please, if you have beautiful, interesting books, I love to read. Thank you so much for that. God bless you for that gift. That was beautiful. Mr. Elvis Elimehele, what's your final take?
The federal government should try as much as possible to be serious with relieving Nigeria of this insecurity, Esther.
It's
Because
getting too much.
it is not just going to start looking for foreign investors.
Yeah.
Where are they coming? And the report of this insecurity gets to them before even we hear it in Nigeria. Because the world is a global village now. And you are spending all Nigeria money, Esther code, and be going around, traveling around, all in the name of foreign direct investors. It will not make any meaning if we don't organize our home. Because these videos that bandits are, releasing to the world brazenly is so shameful. And I don't think any right-thinking person will carry his money and his life into a nation like this and say, I want to come and invest in this nation where bandits have taken over, releasing videos, and government functionaries and armed forces are not able to do anything. It's very shameful.
Very shameful. Ladies and gentlemen, there is Mr. Elvis Elimehele. He's a political, national, and social affairs commentator, also a journalist of over 3 decades. He was our analyst this evening on Friday. So yesterday I told you that I'll be bringing in the media aid to Atiku Abubakar. He has extended. He actually apologized for that. So on Friday, he'll be joining us live here from 7 to 9. So tomorrow we're having Barrister Darlington Aguma with us. But on Friday, we'll be having Mr. Demola. He will be here to give us a couple of responses, because there are a lot of questions being asked to Atiku Abubakar and the ADC and the need why he needs to run when he knows it's at the time of the South. So he will be responding for his principal to tell us indeed why are you breaking the code. Why is the principal insisting he wants to run? And where is the ADC now when it feels like there is no opposition? And a couple of permutations and strategies that will be applied. So that's what we'll be looking into with Mr. Demola on Friday. All right, that's a wrap for now. We'll see you tomorrow by the grace of God. Do have yourself an amazing evening. Bye for now.